Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 9 math. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 9 math and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter operations. And the lessons we're going to cover today are add, subtract, multiply and divide integers. Evaluate variable expressions involving integers, then add and subtract rational number, and multiply and divide rational number. So let's just start with the add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers, right? So let's just do a quick review about the integers. What are the integers? You can please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So, what are the integers? So, integers is a set of numbers comprising 0. Here is the definition of the integers. You can note down the definition. Integers is a special set of numbers comprising 0, positive numbers and negative numbers. And negative numbers, right? So that means integers are the numbers that include 0, positive numbers and negative numbers. So here is the set of integers. You have 0 on the left hand side, on the right hand side you have all positive numbers, right? And on the left hand side you have all negative numbers, right? Here this is the set of integers, right? So positive numbers are, each next positive number is greater than the previous number. On the right hand side, this side the numbers are growing, right? As you are moving far from 0, the numbers are getting greater and greater, and on this side the numbers are getting smaller and smaller. As you are moving far from 0, the numbers are getting smaller and smaller, right? So here is the set of here is the integers. Now we are going to see how do we add, subtract, multiply or divide them, right? Let's just do examples. Okay, let's just do examples related to integer addition or subtraction. So basically, because integers is a special set of numbers, right? So when you're working on the integers, you have to apply some rules when you are adding integers and when you are subtracting integers, right? So the rules you have to apply when adding or subtracting addition is, okay, addition and subtraction rules, right? Why you're going to apply the rules? Because you have a positive sign and a negative sign. So when you are adding integers, addition of integers, okay, when you're adding two positive numbers, right? You are adding a positive and a positive number, right? You simply have to add them. For example, you have 10 plus 15, you have to add, that would be 25 because both the numbers are positive, right? What if both the numbers are negative? We are adding two negative numbers. That means you have to add them. The example is you have negative 10 and plus negative 15. See, both the numbers are negative. So the answer is negative 25. In this case, the answer is positive, and because both the numbers are positive. And in this case, the answer is negative, right? Okay, what if you are adding a positive and a negative number? You have to subtract in this case. For example, you have negative 10 and plus 15. You have to subtract 15 minus 10, that would be 10, and the answer is positive, right? What if the first number is negative and the other is positive? You have to subtract them, and that is 10 plus minus 15. That would be negative 5. In this case, the answer is negative. Here is the rules, you have to apply them when you are adding integers, right? Okay, so when you are subtracting integers, when you are doing subtraction of, what is this? Okay, when you are doing subtraction of integers, you can subtract between two positive numbers, subtract between two negative numbers, subtraction between a positive and a negative number, right? So what you have to do? You have to convert the subtraction sign to an addition sign, right? And after converting the sign, take the inverse of the number which comes after the sign, right? Okay, let's just go to the lesson. Let's just do the practice questions, right? So the rules for the multiplication, right? Multiplication of integer, that is for the addition of integers. The rules for the multiplication of addition, multiplication of integers. Okay, you are multiplying two positive numbers, right? The answer is plus, positive. The answer is positive, right? The answer must have a positive sign. Okay, you are multiplying a positive and a negative number. Answer must have a negative sign, right? You are multiplying a negative and a positive number. Answer must be again negative. And you are multiplying two negative numbers. The answer must be positive. These are the rules you have to apply when you are adding integers, right? Let's just do some of the examples for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, let's just go to the lesson. Here it is: add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers. Okay, so is negative 595 divided by negative 595 positive or negative? The first one is division, right? When you are dividing two negative numbers, right? You are dividing two negative numbers, answer must be positive, right? So the in this question you are dividing two negative numbers, so the answer in this case must be positive. Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, Is negative 44 times 13 positive or negative? So you are multiplying a positive and a negative number, right? So when you are multiplying a positive and a negative number, we just done with the rules for the multiplication of integer. So when you are multiplying a positive and a negative number, answer must be a negative, right? Answer must have a negative sign, so that would be negative. Okay, is you are adding a positive and a negative number, right? So just look at the numbers. The first number is greater. You are subtracting a smaller number out of the greater one, right? So answer must be positive in this case. When you are subtracting a smaller number out of the greater one, the answer must be positive. So the correct option is, for this case, the answer must be positive, right? If you already know the answers, you can write down the answers in the chat box. Okay, is negative 400 divided by 40? You are dividing a negative and a positive number. Which is the correct option? When you are dividing a positive and a negative number, your answer must be negative because one of the number is negative. So answer must be negative, right? Okay, is negative 7,154,360 minus negative 7,376 positive or negative? So you are adding two negative numbers, right? So when you are adding two positive numbers, you have to add them, and the answer must have a negative sign. So the answer is negative, right? That would be negative. Is 8,456 minus 17 positive or negative? Which is the correct option? It is positive, right? Because the greater number is positive, so answer must be positive. 8,456 is greater number, right? And is positive. That means the answer must be positive, right? Okay, is negative 595 divided by negative 595 positive or negative? You are dividing two numbers, both of them are negative, so answer must be yes. In this case, the answer must be positive, so that would be positive. Is 3,577 times negative 83 positive or negative? You are multiplying a positive number and a negative number, right? So answer must be negative, right? Answer must be negative. Is 11 times negative 1 positive or negative? You are multiplying a positive and a negative number, right? The answer must be negative. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is evaluate variable expressions involving integers. So here you are going to we're going to evaluate the variable expressions, right? and the variable expressions involve integers. So basically you have to apply the rules for the addition operation and then the rules for the integers operations here, right? So let's just start with the examples, evaluate variable expressions. So let's just start with the test questions. Okay, evaluate the expression for b equals -10, right? So just replace the b with -10, right? It is b minus 6, that is, okay, you have to evaluate for b equals -10, and that is b minus 6, right? So just replace the b with the value. That would be -10 minus 6. So you have to apply the rule. You are adding two negative numbers. So when you are adding two negative numbers, you have to add them and answer must be negative. So it would be -16, right? So the correct option is -16. Evaluate the expression for z equals -1, right? Okay, just replace the z with the value. That would be 3 times -1, right? So 3 times -1 is -3. You are multiplying a positive and a negative number, so answer must be negative. It is -3, right? Okay, the correct option is -3. Evaluate the expressions for f equal -3. So replace the f with -3, so it would be f plus 14. F equals -33 and f minus 14. Okay, just replace the f with a value -3 plus 14, right? You are adding a positive and a negative number, right? You have to subtract them. 14 take away 3 is 11, right? And 14 is a positive number, so answer must be positive, right? Okay, the next one is c equals -13, right? Okay, c equals -13. That would be negative. The expression is -14, negative, -c, right? No, -14 minus c. Okay, just replace the c with the value -14 minus -13. So you're subtracting a negative number, right? So subtracting a negative number is same as adding. So it would be -14 and plus 13, right? So -14 plus 13 equals, you have to subtract them. And 14 is greater, it has a negative sign, so answer must be negative and it would be -1, right? -1 it is. Evaluate the expression for v equals 9. So the correct option is That would be negative 18. You are multiplying a positive and a negative number, so answer must be negative. So it is negative 18, right? The correct option is negative 18. Okay. B equals negative 15. And you have to evaluate negative B. So it should be negative 15, right? So negative and negative is positive. That would be positive 15. The correct option is 15, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. The next lesson is we are going to do add and subtract rational numbers, right? What are the rational numbers and how do we add and subtract them? Okay, so rational numbers are the numbers that cannot be written in the form. Okay, so rational numbers, you can note down the definition of the rational numbers, right? Any number that can be written as a fraction, right? A rational number is any number that can be written as a fraction, right? You can write any number in the form of a over b. That is the rational number, right? So you have to see how do we add or subtract the rational numbers, right? Let's just do some of the examples related to the adding and subtracting rational numbers, right? Okay, let me just write down the example. Okay, so let's start with an example. You have to add the rational numbers, right? For example, you have add 7 over 11, negative 11, and 3 over 1, right? You have to add them. So that is negative 7 over 11 plus 3 over 11, right? So they have same denominators, that is 11. You simply have to add their numerators. So negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4 over 11, right? Let's just do another example, that is negative 3 over 5 and 2 over 3. You have to add, right? Okay, so negative 3 over 5 plus 2 over 3. You cannot add them like this, right? Until they have the same denominators. Basically, adding and subtracting rational numbers exactly same like you do for fractions, right? First of all, you have to make the denominator same. So the LCM for 5 over 3 is 15. You have to make both the LCM equal to 15. So you have to multiply this time fraction by 3 because 3 times 5 makes 15. And for this one, you have to multiply by 5. So you have to do negative 3 times 3 and 5 times 3 plus 2 times 5 and 3 times 5. So it would be negative 9 over 15 plus 10 over 15, right? Now they have the like denominators. You can simply solve the numerators, right? 10 minus 9 is 1 over 15. So this one is 1 over 15, right? Okay, let's just do the practice questions from A plus. Add and subtract rational numbers. Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, 3 by 4 plus 1 over 2. Okay, so both the fractions have different denominator. First of all, you have to make the denominator same, right? You have to make this denominator equal to 4. So 2 times 2 makes 4. You have to multiply this fraction by 2. It is 3 over 4 plus 1 times 2 divided by 2 times 2. That is 3 over 4 plus 2 over 4, right? Just add their numerators, it would be 5 over 4. So denominator is greater than numerator, you can divide. 4 times 1 is 4. You are left with 1. That means the answer is 1 whole 1 over 4. So it is 1 whole 1 over 4. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? The next one is 7 by 10 plus 3 by 10. So how do you add? They have like denominators, right? You simply have to add their numerators. So 7 plus 3 makes, very good, 7 plus 3 makes 10. That would be 10 over 10 and 10 over 10 equals 1. The correct option is 1. The next one is 1 by 5 plus 3 by 5. They have like denominators. You simply have to add their numerators. That would be 4 over 5. Very good. Okay, 2 by 5 minus 4 by 5. So which is the correct option? You have to subtract their numerators because they have the same denominators. So it would be that would be negative 2 over 5. So the correct option is negative 2 over 5, right? Okay, 7 over 10 minus 3 over 10. So which is the correct option? You have same denominators, just subtract the numerators. So 7 minus 3 is 4 over 10 it is, right? So you can divide them by the common denominator. It would be 2 over 5, right? 3 by 4 plus 1 over 2. I think that's the one we did. Yes, 3 by 4 plus 1 over 2. They have different denominators. First of all, you have to make their denominators same, right? So the smaller denominator is 2. You have to multiply the fraction by 2. That would be then. So the answer is 1 whole 1 over 4. The correct option is 1 whole 1 over 4. Okay, 9 by 10 minus 1 over 5. Okay, let's just do it on board. 9 by 10 minus 1 over 5. Okay, so 5 times 2 makes 10. You have to multiply this fraction by 2, right? 1 times 2 and 5 times 2. That would be 9 over 10 minus 2 over 10, right? So you have to subtract the numerators. That would be 7 over 10. So the correct option is 7 over 10. Option 1 is the correct option, right? Okay, the next one is 4 by 5 plus 3 by 5. So which is the correct option? You have to simply add their numerators because they have the like denominator. So 4 plus 3 is 7 over 5. So it is, when you divide, it is 1 whole 2 over 5. The correct option is 1 whole 2 over 5. 1 by 10 plus 1 by 10. So which is the correct option? They have the like denominators. You simply have to add them. Yes, that would be 2 over 10, or you can divide them by the common factor. So it would be 1 over 5. The correct option is 1 over 5. Okay, 1 by 4 minus 1 over 2. So which is the correct option? One by 4 minus 1 by 2. Let's just do it on board. First of all, you have to make the denominator same. You have to multiply this fraction by 2, right? 1 by 2 times 2 by 2. That would be 1 over 4 minus 2 over 4. They have now like denominators. You can simply subtract their numerator, right? So 1 minus 2 is negative 1 over 4, right? The correct option is negative 1 over 4. Here it is. Okay, we are done with the lesson. So we were working on grade 9 maths. Chapter we're working on is operations, and the lessons we have covered today are add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers, evaluate variable expressions involving integers, and add and subtract rational numbers, right? So please make sure before the next session you have to complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That's your homework for today, right? So if you need more help with any of the question, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. Or either you can search the YouTube channel, and there I have already done these lessons in very detail. You can just go through all the lessons from there, right? Or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10, right? So we still have time. If you have any question, you can ask questions. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So please ask question. Please ask questions if you have any. Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.